My beloved child, stop for a moment. Because what you are about to hear is not something that comes to everyone. This is not a random message. This is not just imagination. This is something your heart has been trying to understand for a long time. And today, the truth is finally unfolding. Your soulmate's honest thoughts about marrying you. The ones they never said. The ones they kept buried deep inside. Are now coming to the surface. There is a side of them you have never fully seen. A quiet side. A deeply emotional side. Where they don't speak out loud. But they feel everything intensely. And in that silent world of theirs, you exist more than you realize. Not as just someone they like. Not as someone temporary. But as someone permanent. Someone they have already imagined standing beside them for a lifetime. They don't just think about you casually. They don't just pass time imagining you. No, when your thought enters their mind, everything slows down. Their attention shifts completely. Because your presence in their life doesn't feel ordinary. It feels important. Like something that could define their future. They have asked themselves a question many times. A question they don't even admit to others. What if I marry this person? And every time this question comes, it doesn't feel wrong. It doesn't feel forced. Instead, it feels natural. Like a possibility that fits perfectly into their life. Like a missing piece finally finding its place. But here is what they never told you. The thought of marrying you excites them. But it also scares them. Not because of you. But because of how real it feels. How deep it goes. How it is not something they can control easily. And when something becomes this real, it becomes risky. Because losing it would hurt more than anything they have experienced before. They have imagined small moments with you. Not just big celebrations or wedding scenes. But simple things. Waking up next to you. Sharing random conversations. Laughing over nothing. Even sitting in silence without feeling uncomfortable. And in all these moments, they feel something they don't feel with anyone else. A sense of belonging. And this is where their truth becomes clear. Marrying you doesn't feel like a decision to them. It feels like a destination. Something they are slowly moving towards. Even if they don't openly show it yet. But my beloved truth, there is something deeper you must understand. Because their silence has confused you. Their actions have made you question everything. Sometimes they come close. Sometimes they pull away. And it makes you wonder, if they really feel this, then why don't they show it clearly? The answer is not simple. Because they are fighting something inside themselves. Something that has nothing to do with you. It is their fear. Their past. Their doubts. The part of them that has been hurt before. The part that doesn't trust easily anymore. They have seen what happens when love fails. They have seen promises break. And deep inside, they are afraid that even something as strong as this could end the same way. And that fear, it holds them back. It makes them move slowly. It makes them hide what they truly feel. But here is the truth they cannot escape. No matter how much they try to distract themselves, no matter how much they try to act normal, your presence keeps returning. Stronger every time. Deeper every time. Until it becomes impossible to ignore. There are moments when they almost confess everything. Moments when their heart pushes them forward. When they feel like they can finally tell you what you mean to them. But right at that moment, fear steps in. And they stop. They hold back. They choose silence over risk. And this silence, it has created distance between you. Confusion. Unanswered questions. But don't mistake this silence as lack of feeling. Because the truth is, their feelings are stronger than their courage right now. They have already thought about building a life with you. Not just emotionally, but practically. They have imagined how you both would handle challenges, how you would grow together, how you would support each other when things get hard. And every time they imagine this, they don't see failure. They see strength. They see possibility. They see you as someone who understands them, even without words. Someone who doesn't just love them, but accepts them. And that kind of connection, it is rare. It is not something they want to lose. And that is exactly why they are being careful. But there is also something changing inside them. Something you may not notice yet. But it is happening. Slowly. Quietly. Their fear is starting to weaken. And their desire to be with you, to choose you, to finally step forward, is starting to grow stronger. They are beginning to realize that holding back is not protecting them. It is hurting them. Because every day they stay silent, they feel like they are losing something important. Something that may not wait forever. And this realization, it is powerful. Because it is pushing them towards a decision. A moment where they will have to choose. Either continue hiding, or finally reveal everything. And when that moment comes, it will not be small. It will not be casual. It will be intense, emotional, and honest. Because everything they have been holding inside will come out all at once. You will not have to guess anymore. You will not have to question their intentions. Because their actions will finally match their feelings. And you will see clearly that their thoughts about marrying you were never just thoughts. They were always real. But until that moment arrives, you must remain patient. Not passive, but understanding. Because this connection, It is not weak. It is not temporary. It is something that is being built slowly, deeply, in a way that cannot be easily broken. And yes, there will still be moments of doubt. Moments where you feel like nothing is happening. But that does not mean nothing is changing. Because sometimes, the most important shifts happen silently. Your soulmate is not far from you. Not in the way you think. They are already connected to you. Emotionally, mentally, in ways that go beyond logic. And their thoughts about marrying you are no longer something they can ignore. They are moving towards you. Even if it doesn't look like it yet. Even if it feels slow. Even if it feels uncertain. The direction has already been decided by their heart. So stay grounded. Stay aware. Because something is coming. Something that will bring clarity. Something that will reveal the truth completely. And when it happens, you will finally understand why everything felt so confusing before. This was never meant to be rushed. It was meant to be real. And real things take time to unfold. And when it does, it will not feel like a surprise. It will feel like something you always knew, deep inside, was going to happen. There is something your soulmate has never said out loud. Something they have kept locked inside even when their heart was screaming to express it. Because what they feel for you has gone beyond attraction, beyond curiosity. It has entered a space where it starts to feel permanent. And permanence is something they do not take lightly. They have observed you more than you realize. Not in an obvious way, but in quiet moments. In the way you react to things. In the way you handle emotions. In the way you care. And slowly, without even realizing it, they started comparing you to everyone else in their life. And every time you stood out, they noticed how different it feels when they talk to you. How conversations with you don't feel forced. How even silence with you doesn't feel empty. And this is where their thoughts began to shift. Because they started understanding that what they feel with you is not something they can easily replace. And then came the deeper thoughts. The ones they don't admit. The ones that scare them the most. They started imagining a future where you are not just a part of their life, but the center of it. Where decisions are made together. Where your happiness becomes their responsibility. Where your pain affects them just as deeply. And this is the moment everything changed for them. Because loving someone is one thing. But imagining a life built around that person, that is something else entirely. They began to question themselves. Am I ready for this? Can I really commit to one person for life? What if I fail? What if I hurt them? These questions did not come because they doubt you. They came because they are trying to understand themselves. Trying to measure their own readiness for something this real. And the truth is, Part of them already feels ready, but another part is still holding on to fear. Fear of not being enough. Fear of making the wrong decision. Fear of losing something so valuable that they may never find again. This is why their actions sometimes confuse you. Because inside them, two forces are fighting. One that is pulling them towards you, and one that is holding them back. And depending on which side feels stronger in that moment, their behavior changes. There are days when they feel completely sure about you, when they feel like they could choose you without hesitation, when the idea of marrying you feels right, feels certain, feels like the only thing that makes sense. And on those days, they come closer. They show more. They become more present. But then there are days when their fears take over, when doubts become louder than feelings, when their past experiences remind them of everything that could go wrong. And on those days, they pull back. They become distant. Not because their feelings changed, but because their fear became stronger. And this push and pull, it has created a pattern that makes you question everything. But the truth behind this pattern is not uncertainty about you. It is uncertainty about themselves. Because deep down, they already know what you mean to them. They already know that you are not just another person in their life. You are someone who has the potential to become everything. They have imagined introducing you to their family. They have imagined what people would think, how their life would change, how responsibilities would increase. And instead of feeling trapped, they feel something unexpected. They feel a sense of purpose. Because, with you, it doesn't feel like they are losing freedom. It feels like they are gaining something meaningful, something worth committing to. But still, they hesitate, because they want to be sure, completely sure, before they take a step that cannot be taken back. And this is where timing becomes important. They are not avoiding you. They are preparing themselves. They are trying to become the version of themselves that can truly stand beside you. Not halfway. Not uncertain. But fully committed. They don't want to come into your life with confusion. They don't want to offer something incomplete. Because they know you deserve more than that. And this is something you may not have realized. Their silence, their delay, it is not always weakness. Sometimes it is respect. Respect for what you are. Respect for what this connection could become. They are trying to make sure that when they finally step forward, they do it the right way. Not out of impulse. Not out of temporary emotion. But out of clarity. Out of certainty. Because once they decide, once they truly accept that they want to marry you, they will not look back. They will not question it again. They will commit with everything they have. And this is why this phase feels slow. Because something this real, cannot be rushed. It has to be understood, accepted, and then chosen completely. There is also something else they are dealing with, something they have not shared with anyone. They are worried about whether you feel the same, whether you see them the way they see you, whether you would accept them completely if they revealed everything. And this fear of rejection, it silently controls their actions. It makes them hold back even when they want to move forward. Because the idea of losing you completely is something they are not ready to face. So they stay in this in-between space, not fully expressing, not fully walking away, just holding on, waiting, hoping that something will make things clear. But clarity is coming, slowly but surely, because their feelings are not fading. They are growing, becoming stronger, becoming harder to ignore. And the more time passes, the more they realize that avoiding this will not make it disappear. It will only make it more intense. There will come a point where they will not be able to stay silent anymore, where the weight of everything they feel will become too much to carry alone. And in that moment, they will have to speak. They will have to act. And when they do, it will not be half-hearted. It will not be confusing. It will be clear, direct, and undeniable. Because by then, they would have already answered all their questions, faced their fears, and accepted their truth. And their truth is this: when they think about marriage, when they think about forever, when they think about choosing one person to stand beside them through everything, the image that comes to their mind is you. Not sometimes, not occasionally, but consistently. And that consistency, it means something. It means that this connection is not random. It is not temporary. It is something that has already taken root deep inside them. And once something reaches that level, it does not simply disappear. So even if things feel uncertain right now, even if their actions don't always match their feelings, understand this: their thoughts about marrying you are becoming more real with every passing day. They are moving closer to a decision. Even if you cannot see it yet, even if they have not said it yet, because some decisions are made in silence, long before they are spoken out loud, writing. Now everything is reaching a turning point, because the feelings they once tried to control are no longer staying quiet. They are rising, becoming stronger, clearer, impossible to ignore. And your soulmate is beginning to understand that this connection is not something they can walk away from. They have started accepting a truth they avoided for so long: that you are not just someone important. You are the one they keep choosing in their mind again and again. Without force, without confusion. The fear that once held them back is slowly losing its power. And in its place, a new clarity is forming. A clarity that tells them, if they don't take a step now, they might lose something they will never find again. They are realizing that waiting forever is not an option. That silence cannot build a future. And that some risks are worth taking. Especially when the feeling is this real. And this realization is changing them. Pushing them forward. Preparing them for a moment that will define everything. A moment where they will stop hiding. Stop overthinking. And finally express what they have been holding inside for so long. When that moment comes, their words will not be perfect, but they will be honest, raw, and real, because they will come straight from the heart. You will see a different side of them, a side that is no longer afraid to lose, because they will understand that not trying is a bigger loss. And in that moment, all the confusion, all the mixed signals, all the silence, will start to make sense, because everything was leading to this. A decision, a choice, a step forward. Their thoughts about marrying you will no longer stay hidden. They will become something they are ready to act on. And when they choose you, it will not be temporary. It will not be uncertain. It will be something they stand by with full intention. Because by then, they will know. This is not just love. This is something meant to last. So do not lose faith in what you feel. Because what is building between you is real, steady, and moving towards its moment of truth. And when it finally unfolds, you will realize it was always leading here, always becoming this, always meant to find its way to you. This is not the end of your story. This is where everything truly begins.